This week's Ride of the Week comes from Benton, Arkansas. It is owned by Justin Huey. It is a 2001 Mustang GT. A lot of bolt-ons including long tube headers, off-road X-pipe, short throw shifter, 373 gears, aluminum intake, and a BBK throttle body. Mach 1 chin spoiler and Cobra R hood round out the aesthetics of the car with the tag reading 1BAD01. If you would like your car featured on this channel, send me pictures to jeastracing@gmail.com along with some info on the vehicle. Thanks for watching. What's going on, guys? In this video we're going to switch gears and talk about the Street Outlaws crew from down south, and that's Memphis. JJ the boss and his group of hustling street racers has got into some trouble, and they have found themselves in a lawsuit with a fellow street racer. And I want to tell you what I know, or what has been released to the public so far. As far as I know, Season 2 is scheduled to be aired in sometime in October, and to my knowledge it is still going to be aired at that date. Stick with me and I'll tell you everything that I know from the police report of what happened. Before I do get started, I do want to bring up my shirts. First link in the description below is a link to my shirts, 15 to 18 bucks, depending on where you live. The best shirt you will ever put on, Gildan dry fit, amazing shirts, very simple. 100% of the proceeds of that shirt is going to fund a project with more shirts. It is for everyone. Everyone will be involved and everyone will love it, and I promise that what little bit I'm making is going to that. So it's going to a good cause. Buy you some shirts, and let's kick this video off right here. As you can tell by the title and the intro of this video, it is something that we really don't want to happen. But it has happened, and the story goes like this, and here in a second I will read word for word what the police report said. But the overall picture is, apparently in September of 2017, Jonathan Day, or JJ the boss, got a hold of Chad and Jeannie Larkin and asked them if they would like to come and participate in a filming of Street Outlaws Memphis. And during that conversation on the phone, he told Chad that he suggested that he do everything possible to get inside the heads of the Street Outlaws Memphis guys, because they was going to do the same. Well, during that, apparently things turned physical. What the police report reads, Kenneth Gully, the driver of the Bounty Hunter S10, threw the first punch and followed suit by the rest of the Memphis guys. And it goes into more detail, and I will read that in just a moment. But I'm already kind of confused, because if it was known in the telephone call and Mr. Larkin agreed to this, he knew that it was going to be at least verbal, arguments going into it. Anybody with common sense would tell you, if I'm telling you there's going to be a verbal altercation, then a physical altercation is just the next thing that's coming. I feel like, and I don't know all of the info, so, take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like, he knew what he was getting into when he got there. I mean, if he has a race car, he knows Street Outlaws and he has seen the show. If he agreed to come, then he should have watched the show. He knew what he was getting himself into when he pulled out of the driveway headed toward Memphis. What I'm about to read is word for word what the police report said. When Larkin turned around, his wife, plaintiff Jeannie Larkin, yelled out, "Look out." When Larkin turned around, defendants Jonathan Day and two other individuals running across the street at him. JJ and the Bounty Hunter, which is Kenneth Gully, threw punches at Larkin and tackled him to the ground. As Larkin went down, he immediately felt pain in his leg, as though his muscles and tendons were ripping. At that point, Larkin was on his back with his face exposed. Kenneth Gully and Jonathan Day continued to assault, punching Larkin in the face, repeatedly kicking him in the ribs. The suit goes on to say, as the assault continued, Larkin literally believed the street outlaws were attempting to kill him, and he literally feared for his life. And I want to stop right there and say something. I have heard my entire life, if you was the, misfortunate one who was on the wrong end of a home invasion, or somebody trying to break into your house, or any type of horrible situation like that, you always say you fear for your life. And, that is public knowledge. If you say that, you automatically get away with whatever you want to, basically. So, those words right there, it's going to be an ugly lawsuit. And as of right now, I think the only person that the Mr. and Miss Larkin have actually sued is Discovery Channel. They have not sued JJ or Kenneth Gully individually, or the show individually yet. It is just through Discovery Channel. Pilgrim or anybody affiliated with the show is not mentioned in the lawsuit, to my knowledge. According to the report, that the producers and people affiliated with the show behind the scenes, they made no types of efforts to stop the attack. In fact, they moved people out of the way to get a better shot of what was going on. And that is going to be another issue where he's seen the show. He knows what happens. These guys are not responsible for what happens. He signed a release getting onto that street, the block street. He signed a release releasing Pilgrim, Discovery, anybody individually from any type of thing like this. It does go on to say that Larkin's wife tried to step in and help her husband, and as soon as she, got close to him, a female member of the Memphis Street Outlaws grabbed her and pulled her away and began beating her up as well. I don't know who this might be, whether it be, Tricia, Precious, Kenneth Gully's got a wife, he's got a daughter. I don't know who they're talking about, but they say that both of them was physically attacked, and it does not go on to say whether the race, went on or not. It does go on to say, and this is word for word, that Larkin suffered extensive bodily injuries, including but not limited to damage to his knee, face, eye, head, and back. His wife also suffered extensive bodily injuries, including but not limited to damage to her head, neck, back, and arm. The lawsuit is asking that Chad Larkin be awarded compensation damages not to exceed $5 million and punitive damages not to exceed $5 million, and compensatory damages not to exceed $500,000 for Jenny Larkin. And that is the end of the report that I have in my hand. And is what I want to know is your thoughts. Did the guy, know what he was getting himself into when he got there? There's no way he did not know what he was going into, in my eyes, when he got there. He's seen the show. He knows how, rough JJ's bunch, puts on. It is a brotherly love who, will fight for whatever they believe in. And there is nothing to say what JJ's side is yet. It has not been released. I do know that on a different note, there was a wreck at an airport runway that JJ was hosting a race, and someone ultimately ended up totaling their car and getting hurt themselves, and there was talk of a lawsuit then. I never heard anything that got brought to light, but this is not anything new for JJ. And, I want to know what you think. Do you think the guy deserves $5 million? Do you think that the guy, knew what he was getting himself into and should have signed a release before it all happened? I want to know your thoughts. The comments below or the email address that is across the screen. Send me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about the whole situation. And do you think that this will hurt, Street Outlaws Memphis or the whole Street Outlaws franchise as a whole? Thank you very much for watching, and Godspeed. I will see you in the next video.